morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Ida Hussein from Polaron speaking to you. We're running a few minutes behind because we had some technical issues, so apologies, but I'm so very excited to welcome someone really, truly special. Someone whom I've met a couple of times when I was in New York, but of course now we can't travel, so the only thing we can do is have a virtual meeting. So good evening or good afternoon to you. I am welcoming Dr. Iwona Korga all the way from New York City.
Hello everyone.
Look, the reason I'm saying that Dr. Korga is very special is because she is, but also because of where she works and what she does. This month, it is the Polish Heritage Month, and we were hoping that we can get somebody from America to talk to us about what they do. And when I heard that Dr. Korga has agreed to speak to us, I was really, truly excited. Firstly, Dr. Korga, tell us what you do and where you work.
I'm a historian. I was educated in Poland and in America, in New York City. And I have been working at the Piłsudski Institute of America for last 25 years. And I'm currently executive director and a president. So it's a long story, just cut short to tell you that this is a great place where I work, and all my life is here.
And we can see the institute behind you, and it is such an important institution in terms of the preserving of the Polish heritage, I guess, in the context of Joseph Pisudski. Could you tell us a bit more about who he was? Because he was the founding father of the Polish nation when it was reconstituted in 1918. So could I just ask you in a few words to tell us who he was and why the institute has been set up and what it does?
Sure. Józef Pisudski for Poland is like George Washington for Americans. So is a father of our independence, regained independence in 1918. So Piłsudski is a hero, it's a patriot, it's an organizer, it's a thinker. He was never military educated. However, he was brilliant in making military decisions. Just this year, we celebrate 100th anniversary of Warsaw, Battle of Warsaw, 1920. And he was the mastermind under the plan of winning this battle, which not only saved Poland, but also whole Europe. So for 20 more years before Second World War, there was a chance for Europe to be free before Bolsheviks could come over. So going back to the institute, Piłsudski set up institute in Warsaw in 1923. He was very much interested in Polish history and archives, and he thought getting archives and securing them and making them special is important. So in 1923, the Institute for Research of Study of Polish History is being organized, and there are many documents there were placed there which were associated with Polish independence. When Piłsudski died in 1935, the institute was renamed with his name. So then from 1935, it was the Piłsudski Institute for Research in the Modern History of Poland. And after the Second War started, many of Piłsudski's friends had to emigrate somewhere, and they came to America. They got in touch with others, Polish Americans, and they decided to set up the institution here in New York City. So it happened in 1943 in order to tell America what Poland is fighting for in the Second World War.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. So I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I actually have family in New York. I have an uncle who's 90. He turned 90 in May. And he was 5 years old when Pisudski died, but he remembers the terrible mourning that Poland went through, because he was actually quite young. I mean, I guess in today's relative ways that we think about, but it was a really big tragedy for Poland, because he was such a statesman and such an important leader, I guess. And I think through your work, you're carrying that legacy through. Is that right?
Yes. So especially in America, Polish Americans are carrying the history and legacy of Piłsudski, and that's why the institute is carrying his name. And we are truly doing whatever the institute was doing before Second World War. So we are collecting documents, and we have now 1 million documents. We have 20,000 books, more than 200 paintings and history artifacts, and military uniforms and medals and stamps, postcards, many different collections which were given to us as a gift for last 76 years. And we are taking care of those collections.
So Dr. Korga, as a historian and someone who must be so passionate, to work somewhere for 25 years must be labor of love. There's no other question, another way to describe it. What is your role specifically? I mean, in the context of the Institute, but it must be a lot of hard work in order to be able to preserve things, but also get resources on board and make the organization sustainable. So I know that you're based in Greenpoint. You kind of recently, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, you've moved. Is that right?
Yes.
In this really beautiful building. So what are some of your challenges right now, apart from the pandemic, which everyone's coping with one way or another? But where's the Institute at the moment, and what are your plans into the future?
So as you mentioned, the Institute was forced to move from Manhattan, from East Side to Greenpoint. We lost the building, it was sold. And we are now here in Greenpoint in the Polish immigration beginnings, which started here 100 years ago. And we are currently being held by Polish and Slavic Federal Credit Union. And our situation is stable. However, we are non-for-profit organizations, so we always have to find new members and new grants, whether in America or in Poland. And this is a process which takes a lot of our time every year, because we have to write applications and then we have to wait for the results. And we, of course, have a very nice group of members and sympathizers here in New York City, because we, in better times when there was no COVID, we had a lot of open to the public programs, like 40 programs per year, sometimes few per month, many programs for children, history classes for school students, Polish and Americans, for senior special programs. But now challenges are different. We have to really be careful how we are spending money. And we have to do even more in order to secure grants and membership applications. And also there is a lot of changes with the programs. We cannot be open to the public program because of the COVID. So we put all our programs through our website, www.pilsudski.org, and through our Facebook. And as well, we are doing a lot of collection modernization in our archive. So we're trying to, make collecting and preserving documents even better, because we have a little more time. So this is the challenges are, I would say, getting funds to remain open for many more years to come. So it's like a basic campaign for the future, and then make sure that we still have programs open for everyone through our online sources.
So it's very clear to me right now how everybody should support you. Your website, which we'll put on our page shortly, does have a section for donations and memberships, but I think it's ever so important to support institutions like yours. And I was hoping that you could tell us, as a historian and a very passionate one, I know that you're incredibly passionate about history and preserving of history. How and why is it important to support you, other than the fact that, you know, you have collections, you have staff, you have a building, you know, there's a lot of practical things. But in terms of maybe a bit more abstract way of describing it, because as a historian, I think you've studied it and you're into preserving of what's happening. Why is history important to younger people today? Why should we encourage, you know, children, students, the youth, to connect with their heritage, given that it's a Polish Heritage Month in America?
So as we all know that when we getting older, and we even when we are growing up, knowing where our family is from, it is very important. Having no history is disastrous. So young people are looking for the past. They want to know where their parents, grandparents, and even other generation came from. So they are looking for sources about history, about culture, about different events. So that's why this is our mission, to build that bridge between older and younger generation. Also, when we think about older people, because we have programs in Polish mostly, but there are some in English, older people who came here 10, 20, even 40 years ago, sometimes they prefer to choose programs in Polish. They feel that they are left out and they need to meet people, they need to speak to someone. So we are making them happy, telling them about different parts of Polish history which they are not aware of. We are showing documentary films, we are inviting special guests. And the third part is for mostly for Polish Americans, which who are not really familiar with Poland, and they would like to find out more. So they can come always to us or write a letter, email, whatever they feel is good, and ask us about resources, about different things, and we always advise and give them hand.
And I know that you even have a meeting after this. It's quite late already in New York in the afternoon, and you have another meeting. You work a lot and you work very hard. Do you feel appreciated, Dr. Korga? Because I was really quite amazed when I went and you know, had a look at the institute and all, you know, the collection, the paintings, you know, but it is a very big amount of work that's required to hold it all together. How can we support you, other than, you know, if the institute got money, I think that would make it easier for everyone. But what about yourself? Like, how what is it that we can do to help out if we can?
Yes, so the best idea is to go to our website, www.pilsudski.org. There is a page about donations and membership. So anyone can be a member. The membership starts from $30 per year. So it's I would say it's not a large amount of money in order to support our activities, preservation, open to the public programs, and sustainability for this organization. Mm. The other part is, if you prefer not to be a member, you can always make a donation in the amount you choose to. There is always a possibility for those who are living around to become a volunteer, so to donate their skills, their time in order to help us. Of course, now is a difficult time, but things will change. We all know that next year, especially mid-year, might be much better. There are some people who choose to leave a charitable gift in their will, and we are, of course, accepting those kind of help. So there are many different options, and also if someone has a great collection or a piece of art and would like to donate it to us so we can preserve it and make it available to the public, it's also the way to think about memory of their parents. We are getting such gifts from different people in United States. And so we are open for anything.
Right. So any support is good support. So we encourage strongly everyone to think about this very, very important institution as their own, I guess, because there needs to be a sense of ownership. And I think, I don't know if you agree, but whether you're young or old, connecting with your heritage is ever so important, especially today. And I think, we're noticing through our work that there's such a big movement towards I guess thinking about where you come from, who you are as a person, and how to connect to that heritage. But I was going to ask you in terms of the Institute and its global presence. I know that there's a Piłsudski Institute also in London. Could you maybe explain to us how the two are connected? How is that global network operating?
When the Piłsudski Institute was set up in New York City, and it was obvious that after the Second World War, there is no way to go back to Poland because of the Russian concentration there and censorship. There was an attempt to set up, I would say, a similar organization in London, where there were many Polish people who could not go back to Poland. Mm-hmm. And also in London, there was a wife of Piłsudski and their daughters, and they set up this organization, which still exists. We are in very good contacts with Piłsudski Institute in London, and they do have also archives, and they have some programs open to the public, and they carry on similar activities as we are.
So have you had a chance to meet Piłsudski's family, like his daughters? Do they keep in touch? Is there any connection there?
That I never had the chance to meet in person daughters because they passed away a while ago, but I have had the chance to meet grandson, Krzysztof Jaraczewski. He is the son of Jadwiga Jaraczewska, it's a younger daughter. And you may know that now in Poland, just in August, there was a Piłsudski Museum opened in Sulejówek. This is the place where family lived from 1922 to 1926. And there is a plan to open to the public the museum and collections. And Krzysztof Jaraczewski was very much involved with this project. And we collaborated as an institution, him as a family foundation and Piłsudski Institute America with this project, especially with online resources for this museum in Poland.
Very interesting. So we do have a few questions, and I know that you've got meetings back to back, so I don't want to hold you up, but I did want to ask you. So 2023, which is 100 years anniversary of the Institute, what are we seeing for Piłsudski Institute? What are the plans? What are your dreams? Can you inspire us a bit more? Although, it talks to me very inspirational, actually.
I think that we will plan, of course, something. It probably will be some event open to the public now that people will be really willing to do anything to come and see friends, and probably we will have something here at our institution. But sometimes we do have events outside for bigger gatherings. So I think always films, exhibition, and some artistic programs are good. People are truly loving to sing songs which were associated with Polish legions from First World War, and we always have a nice opera singers associated with Metropolitan Opera, Polish singers who are helping us to conduct the sing-along, as would say, and people really cherish it. So I think there will be a lot of possibilities, and I'm truly hopeful that a lot of people can take part in it.
I think we'll be watching that space with a lot of interest, and I'll be there, that's for sure. At the moment, as we said, this is the only way we can talk. But I think in 3 years' time, I'm sure that we'll be able to participate and celebrate, your work, your engagement, your passions, and also the work of Piłsudski, who has, as the founding father of Poland, as it was reconstituted or rebuilt in 1918, is a very, very important figure. So we just have a couple of minutes for questions, and I'll hand over to Andrea now, if that's okay.
Thank you so much, Eva. There's quite a few people from the US, from New York, asking how they can get involved with the Institute. You briefly mentioned, Dr. Korga, that they could get a membership, but also donate to the Institute. I was wondering maybe if you can briefly talk to us about the membership. So what sort of benefits or involvement they can get once they get a membership with the Institute?
So each member has access to our online bulletin. It comes every month in Polish and in English. Every year they get printed bulletin with our activities. They also have a special invitation for special events, which are larger and they are not exactly at our place. So they always know on hand what is going on at the Institute and what events are up to, and they are more knowledgeable about our activities. And then they can always, they have easy access to our collection because they can always call us up and we, set up things for them. They can ask us a question or ask for help for looking for different materials. And of course, they their donation, their membership is helping us to operate and keep everything safe for the time being and for new generations to come.
Thank you. One last question.
The other thing I'll just mention. I'll just mention that you also get a very beautiful letter signed by Dr. Korga, because I've seen it, and it's such a nice moment to receive that with a letter of thanks and a beautiful letter presented, like old school. Yeah. Sorry, Andrea, go for it.
Sorry, if I might just ask one more thing. We know, Doctor, that the Institute has a digital catalog with over 20,000 books about Poland. How can we access that collection? Do you need to have a membership for that, or is free?
Not
is that free
really.
of cost?
The collection, online and database collection with Silesian pricing and all documents which has been digitized for last 10 years are open to the public, and you can use it for free. However, sometimes people who are not really working with archives have some trouble, so members, they have easy access to us to find out how to use it, or we can help them to search it. But this collection is open to everyone anywhere in the world with internet access.
Thank you so much. So what we'll do now is we'll finish off, because I know you have to go, but I sincerely wanted to thank you for being with us this morning, this afternoon, because that's really given us an insight into what you do, but also how important your work is in preserving our Polish history, Polish heritage, and anybody that is interested in your work can go, for further information, go to your website. But certainly, please support the Piłsudski Institute. As it is in Greenpoint, when things open up, you can go and visit. There are lots of restaurants and cafes that are Polish. So Greenpoint is also changing. It's not the same as it was. So whenever you can go and visit. But in the meantime, the website's got an amazing array of resources, information. And I'm sure that if you have any specific questions, if you reach out to Dr. Korga, she might be able to answer. But in the meantime, I'll hand over to you just for the last few words, but I wanted to thank you for your time. And I know you have a super busy schedule, so thank you for squeezing us in.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It is always a pleasure to be a part of such a great organization, and I'm always happy to talk about the Institute. And I welcome everyone. Even now, you can call us and you can stop by and we show you around. So it is possible, and we are waiting for you here. Write to us, call us and talk to us. And of course, we will explain and talk to you back, and it will be really nice to meet you. So thank you very much, Eva. Thank you very much, Polaron, and hope to see you and talk to you next time. Thank you.
We will be there, and thank you. We're very grateful for your time. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you. The same to you. I think it's morning in Australia,
Yes,
but
we're still having coffee. Yes, it is morning.
yes.
Thank you.
All the best.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.